On Mount Nebo the sky was darkening, and a light breeze was blowing as if nature itself was mourning the loss of Moses. The latter, a man of faith and sacrifice, had led his people for 40 years through the desert. His hands, worn by time, had received the tablets of the law, but he would never enter the promised land. With his last breath, he scanned the horizon, aware that his journey was coming to an end. As his body sank, a shadow approached, almost imperceptible. It was Satan, the master of deception, whose gaze was fixed on the lifeless body of the prophet. "I want this body," he whispered, his voice threading like a snake through the emotion-filled air. "Moses is just a man. His time is over and he now belongs to the dust." At the same moment, a brilliant light illuminated the scene, and two majestic figures appeared. Gabriel, the messenger, and Michael, the defender of heaven. They advanced with authority, their gleaming wings casting calming shadows over Moses' body. "Stand back, Satan," Michael commanded, his voice ringing with the force of celestial thunder. "This body does not belong to you. Moses was chosen by God and his soul is his." Satan burst into mocking laughter, defying the authority of the angels. "Moses, this man of dust, experienced doubt and failure. Why defend it?" Gabriel, full of compassion, replied, "Every man knows his weaknesses. But it is in the acceptance of these that the real strength lies." Moses was an intercessor, a man of faith. The angels and Satan then found themselves transported to a majestic room, bathed in divine light. The throne of God was in the center, radiating infinite peace. Satan came forward first, arrogant, standing before the throne. "O Creator, I come to claim the body of Moses." His doubts are a reflection of humanity. He is not above the others. God, whose wisdom surpassed human understanding, listened attentively. "And what do you offer in exchange for this body, Satan?" "I want to prove that even the greatest can fall. Allow me to claim it as a trophy of my victory over humanity," Satan retorted. Gabriel spoke, his voice soft but firm. "Moses is not just a man but a symbol of hope. He led his people through trial and always sought redemption. In his doubts, he sought to understand your will. Doesn't that make him a man of faith?" A murmur of approval rose among the angels, but Satan was not deterred. "Men are all sinners. Moses, despite his exploits, also sinned. Why protect it?" Michael, with ardent fervor, added, "Every man has his struggles. What matters is how he gets up after the fall. Moses always looked for light in the darkness." Satan, insisting on his arguments, sought to undermine Moses' defense. He bordered on despair, doubted you when he asked for water for his people. "Doesn't this show that he is weak?" Tensions rose, and the angels realized they must act wisely. Gabriel turned to the Creator. "Let each of us present our evidence. Let us debate whether Moses is worth preserving." God agreed, and the congregation prepared for a celestial showdown. The first to testify was a former companion of Moses, Joshua, who stood up courageously. "I saw Moses in the face of adversity, facing Pharaoh with determination. He always prayed for us. Even when the people doubted, they remained firm in their faith." Then came the testimony of Aaron, his brother. "Moses was a man like us with his weaknesses, but he always sought to serve. He pleaded for us before God." Each voice that was raised only reinforced the image of Moses as an intercessor and leader. Satan, however, remained unyielding. Finally, after hours of debate, God spoke to the congregation. "Moses is a symbol of what humanity can achieve. His weaknesses do not define him. I won't give it up. His body will be preserved in a secret location." Satan, furious, bowed but swore it was not over. "I will return and I will prove that humanity is doomed to fall." The angels took Moses' body and hid it in an inaccessible place, protected by divine forces. Far from the eyes of the world, his legacy would live on through generations. Years passed and the story of Moses became a legend. His name was synonymous with freedom and hope. In the hearts of people, he was more than a man. He was an inspiration, a beacon of light in the darkness. And even though Satan had tried to claim it, the truth remained. Moses had conquered death through his impact on the world.